What is going on, everybody? It's me, Vincent McLean, the Common Machine, and I'm back again with another Monday Night Jibber. That's right. We're bringing it, coming in hot, coming in hard. I am super excited to do another Monday Night Jibber episode. It's going to be super cool, or at least I think it's going to be super cool. And yeah, so last minute, I decided I wanted to kind of like do a mashup here going on. So I know I wanted to like talk about BRZRKR, co-written by Keanu Reeves, because that comic that just came out on Wednesday, I really enjoyed, and all that super awesome jazz. So that's what's going on tonight. So I'm gonna do a little, hey, guess what? You know, I'm live currently right now. Everybody should come over and like watch and hang out and whatever. So we're just gonna do one of these thingies. What's up, everybody? I'm live. Come on over. Monday Night Jibber. Whoa. So yeah, we'll just do that right now, just so we can get that out there. Yeah. So first part, you know, well, I don't know, first part or not, but, you know, we'll kind of like do a little bit up in here. But so at last minute today, I was thinking about it. So I'm a big wrestling fan. Okay. I've always been a wrestling fan. There's been ups and downs and all that kind of stuff. But last minute, I decided, you know what? I think it'd be kind of cool if we actually talk about AEW Retribution that just happened yesterday. I'm super pumped about that. I was like, that'd be really cool, because there's surprisingly a ton of people up in the community that are wrestling fans. So that's also what's going to be happening tonight. So yeah, come on, Mama. Thanks for stopping by. Right? BRZRKR was super awesome. What's up, Zuni? Thanks for stopping by. I'm kind of hoping we can get like Cole from Comic Burrito up in here. I don't think Dustin from Two Brothers is going to show, but, you know, maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I also don't know if he watches AEW. And who else is a big wrestling fan I know? Oh, Bearded Comic Bro. I know he's a big wrestling fan. But like I said, I don't know if these dudes are like watching AEW and all this other kind of stuff. And honestly, I'm finding myself enjoying AEW more and more, far more than WWE by far. Although I will say the Royal Rumble, the Royal Rumble that just happened for WWE was actually like halfway decent. It wasn't too bad. And then Elimination Chamber was okay. It wasn't too bad. And there was some stuff that was just like, But on the flip side, AEW's Retribution that just happened last night was so good. Okay, so I don't know if anybody else here who is a wrestling fan. I'm going to assume everybody that's on here is probably on YouTube like all the time, just as much as I am. But I watched What Culture's trying to pull it up right now. Wrestling ups and downs. There we go. Okay, so I watched What Culture's Wrestling Ups and Downs from AEW Revolution. I'm going to put the link here in the description. You guys should go check it out, mostly because Simon Miller from What Culture Wrestling is just hilarious. I love this dude. I like watching his recaps and stuff that he does. It's really awesome. But it in his thing, he's got ups and downs. So he'll like do the whole segment and stuff like that. And he'll break down each dealio that happens, and he'll give it an up or he'll give it a down. Guess what? For AEW Revolution, if it wasn't for the very last ending, there was going to be all ups, like 9 or 10 ups. Okay, like Retribution was super good. Okay, sadly, yes, YouTube's become the main source of entertainment, right? Like definitely, like I'll be at work, and you know, I'm usually on YouTube most of the time if I'm not like busy doing stuff. And sometimes I'll throw out a little bit of Netflix to watch and catch up on a show, but sometimes it just takes too long. YouTube's nice, you know, 10, 20, 30 minute, whatever, 5, 10 minute videos or whatnot, and it works out perfectly. But yeah, always like, yeah, YouTube main source of entertainment. But yeah, so I just kind of had that thought, and so when I did the when I was getting ready and stuff like that, I was looking at my the StreamYard and how I have everything set up and how I did all that information. So I thought I'd put it in the title, kind of get a little bit of extra attraction going on, not just from the wrestling community, but like also from like, the comic book community. Cause like I said, there's just like a ton of people that are like comic book, like wrestling bros. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to kind of like go through and talk about that too as well. So, all right, I'm going to pull up the card so I can, Revolution card, so I can like make sure I hit everything for it, because I think it's pretty awesome. But yeah, so I just thought like let me do a mashup. Let me put this all together here, and just kind of like have like a fun little conversation, because like I said, there's a ton of people that I know that are the wrestling peeps, and that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, that's my best Simon Miller from What Culture. It's terrible, and I love it. Okay, so BRZRKR. Everybody liked BRZRKR, right? I hope everybody liked BRZRKR. Come on, Mama said that BRZRKR was like, she really enjoyed it because it was really cool. Like, yeah, I thought BRZRKR was super awesome. And I think I said this in my last video on Thursday, that when I was reading it, I could hear Keanu Reeves' voice in my head. If that says anything, that means it's pretty flipping good. So, I think that just is real big testament to the story, how it was written, and the thought process put into it. I think was like super, super awesome. So, that's just how I perceived it when I was reading it, and all that kind of awesome stuff. So, that's where I was at. So I'm going to put in the link in the description. If you guys haven't read BRZRKR, it is the current new title written by Keanu Reeves and Matt Kind. How do you pronounce that? I need to look that up. See what it says. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it says. Oh my God. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I'm trying to hear a pronunciation of it. Kint? Okay. All right. So Matt Kint. That's how the pronunciation on the Google says. And by Google, it took me to YouTube. So yeah, there we go. YouTube forever. So this comic book was so awesome. Oh, also, this is not a spoiler-free zone. Okay, I'm gonna pull up like some stills and stuff from this too as well, as we go through and talk about it and stuff like that. This is not, I repeat, not a spoiler-free zone. This came out last Wednesday. You've had your time to read it. If you didn't, well, that's your fault. That's not my fault. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. Yeah, look at this thing. This is super awesome. Super bloody in the beginning, but what a great twist with the flashback to his birth. Did not expect that. Exactly. That was like super crazy. Like super, super crazy. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, like I said, read comics online. It's one of the links I put in the description here. This is where I read all my comics online. Okay. They usually have everything current for the most part. They'll have like back issues on there too as well. You just kind of make sure you really try to put in like the actual like what it is that you're looking for, because it's not like a super like perfect in-depth kind of like dealio. So yeah. All right. So I mean, look at this. Like the dude's got a machete, he's got arrows, he's got bullet holes. Like what? Okay, had no idea what to expect from the comic. No idea what to expect. We get all the peoples that are involved in it, created by Keanu Reeves. Super awesome. Okay. And then just like the first panel that we see, it's just insane. It looks so good. And honestly, like this kind of reminded me a little bit of the Boys comic with Garth Ennis, like the whole being on a chair and stuff like that. It just kind of reminded me of that a little bit. And then, you know, it's like, it's time. And you're like, okay, what's time? You know, as we're reading it, we're like, what the hell is going on? I mean, he kind of looks like Keanu Reeves. Let's be honest. Okay. This is like, is it quite, it's not quite like John Wick Constantine. Like it kind of is. Like there's definitely some elements. Okay. I see we got 6 people watching right now. Just letting you guys know, if you're here for the wrestling stuff, we will get to wrestling. I just wanted to go over the newest comic book by Keanu Reeves, created, co-written by Keanu Reeves, called BRZRKR. It's really awesome. We're going to go through it. So definitely am going to be talking some wrestling. So stick around. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. So stick around. All right. I heard somebody say that he is Boom's Wolverine equivalent. Ooh, okay. That's cool. But as we get to it and further in the comic, like we don't actually see him heal. Like it seems like it's a process. It's not like Wolverine and Deadpool where they're just like, oh, bullet hole. And like, as he shows it to the camera, it's like, you know, it's starting to close up. It's not like that. Or Wolverine where it's like, he's trying to walk up to stop Jean Grey Phoenix from like destroying everything. And you see like his skin and flesh start to tear off and you start to see his adamantium underneath. And then it like regrows in like a millisecond. It doesn't seem like it's going to be that crazy of a healing factor, but it seems like it's going to be pretty sick. So let's see. All right. So as we keep going, there's this dialogue that's happening. It's obviously in his head. I'm not really sure what's going on. Taping up his hands. How's it going? Getting ready. We're coming in high. Hold on. Ready. Wait for my mark before, and then he just Captain America is out the fucking goddamn helicopter, like in what you call it, the Winter Soldier. And Rumlow is like, or who was it? It was another member of the team, and they're like, did you jump out without a parachute? And Rumlow's like, yeah, he did. You bet your ass, he sure fucking did. He just took a straight up swan dive, no parachute, no nothing. Shit. Exactly. And then, do you know what today is? No. What is it? So this is the dialogue going on in his head. We have no idea who he's talking to other than obviously himself, but you know, whatever. It's our anniversary. Okay. So, all right. So we get a little bit more something that's going on here, but we don't know all the deets, right? We've been working together for a year today. Okay. And it's just a massacre. All right. It's pretty light. This is light. Okay. The little bit of blood you got on here, this is extremely light. Was not expecting the level of gore that came about. Does that feel like a long time to you? Poof, psh, 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 reload. And then, BAM! Like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? Oh my God, that was epic. Like, I had to scroll back up and like, wait, hold on. What's going on? Okay, so he throws the gun, and then he grabs the other gun right here, and he just shoves it right through this dude, or he shoves his fist right through his entire head. Like, what? And he pulls it back, and he's got brain matter on him. Like, what is this level of like strength and power? How is this happening? Because like I'm 100% sure a normal person cannot take their fist and just punch it through somebody else's skull and their hand comes out the back. His hand is right there. It literally came out the back. You can see the bandages that he wrapped his hand up in. Okay, so this is like insane strength and just brutality. Okay, already awesome. All right, life is short. All right, and they're like, okay, we're about to head in. Let's go. And he's like, all right, let me take this off. I don't need this anymore because like apparently he got shot. But like when did he get shot? Like, right? So like in this panel, it didn't show that he got shot, right? So when we're back here, he's got bullet holes, but we didn't know he got shot. So that's a little bit weird. Yeah, same. All I could say was that's an eyeball. Exactly. Like, holy crap. If I showed that to my buddy Charles, if you watch this later, make sure that you like skip the past like I don't know, 4 minutes at like the 11-12 minute mark. There's an eyeball that happens. So just to help you out there a little bit, bud. All right. So we go in. He says, I think we've made some progress. Yeah? Yes, I feel like it. Bam! More bullets coming at him. And it's like, okay, well, that doesn't do anything. I feel a connection. Tell me if I'm wrong. No, you're not wrong. And it's another fist going through a face, but he shoved the dude's gun, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So in the panel, you see the blood coming off the gun here, right? Okay, that's crazy. But I felt a lot of connections. All right. And then he just starts shooting. There's another eyeball. There goes eyeballs. And then they're just shooting him, this character. We don't know his name yet. Still don't know his name at the end of the issue, as far as I know. Connections end up parroting. And he's just stomping faces. Like, okay, so he knocked this dude's like bottom jaw off. That goes away. And then just stomping on heads, brain matter everywhere. And dude goes to shoot at him. And then he just literally just like grabs him by the hair and just wrecks. Just completely wrecks. It's so bloody. And then you find out he just pulled out some rib bones. Like, what is going on? Okay. Like this entire panel, like I've had to scroll back and forth like so many different times. Like, wait, hold on. What's going on here? How is this happening? And then he just uses the bone as a weapon on another dude. Okay. Like what is this? What is this craziness? Okay. Continued dialogue going on in the head, knocking another jaw off of the person's face, which is insane. Then he rips his arm off. Okay. What is going on? Okay. So there's just a lot, right? So as we're going through the panel, there's just a lot of blood, gore, body parts, and it doesn't seem like this character can be stopped in any shape or form whatsoever. It's pretty awesome. And then in this shot, it kind of looks like an Oval Office kind of situation. And then one of the SWAT guys or whoever, Donde está el presidente? So they're obviously looking for a president. And since he's speaking in Spanish, obviously not in the United States, he's at the airport. He's leaving the country. And our mysterious John Wick created character, or Keanu Reeves created character, just picks this dude up and then just jumps out the fucking window with him. Okay. All right. No parachute. No parachute. So they go, goddamn, and smack right into a bus or, a cart or some sort, taco truck, or like, maybe like, I want to think like an Italian truck, because it kind of looks like a piece of bread on the top, like an Italian sub truck. I'm thinking maybe, but I also did have tacos for dinner tonight, which were dank as fuck. So I literally took a jalapeno and I cut it up like nice and thin slices. And I took a green bell pepper and an onion and I put that in a saucepan and I just sauteed the shit out of that, put some salt, put some pepper and a little bit of garlic powder and let that all saute, and it was nice. And then yesterday, wifey, she went and seasoned and marinated the chicken last night after we defrosted it, and then stuck it in a pan and let that sit overnight. And then today she stuck it in our Instant Pot and cooked the shit out of that, and then came out perfect, and she shredded it, and it was like the most dank ass fucking chicken tacos we've ever made. It was so good. And I have a lot. Like I had enough to be able to double bag and like load some up in the freezer and save it for a rainy day and have leftovers for like the next couple days. Yeah. Like taco truck. Like, yeah, that's literally what I was thinking. So because tacos. Oh, and we did make homemade guac, and we had sour cream and cheese and salsa. Yeah. Real good. And it's still getting to me. All right. So continue on. Okay. So Home Skillet gets up out of there. Dude is like just riddled with like debris, just completely shredded. Right. Okay. And then it's like, I mean, it's your charts. spiked. What? What's going on now? Your temporal lobe. Okay, what? I'm confused. I saw activity there. New branches lit up that weren't active before. Okay, what is going on? Okay, so it looks like somebody is in the mind of this character who we don't know who it is. Okay, interesting. Let's continue. So, a big heavy metal truck with a giant 50 cal. I'm assuming 50 cal because that's usually what's on top of those. Comes around. Homeskill is just getting riddled with bullets. He jumps up over and then he lands on the hood. But you think he lands on the hood, but he doesn't. And then he just smashes his feet through the window and just destroys this dude's face. Like, what? Okay, just the carnage is insane. And then it says, and I think the adjustments in your protocol are helping. They're helping you remember. Okay, so memory loss, amnesia, Jason Bourne situation going on or something like that. Tosses the dude out. I told you, I have perfect memory. Oh, by the way, Keanu Reeves is still talking in my head while we're going through this. So, yeah. All right. And then as we continue, and by perfect, I mean, I remember what the victims of the Black Death smelled like. Black Death. Okay. That was like 13th century, right? 12th century. Black Death, like medieval times. Not the fun getaway little jousting funness, like bad medieval times, like, yeah, where they like toss their piss and shit out the window. Bad. Okay. Black Death. What? I remember the smell of the angry mob putting torch to tar and feathers. Okay. That's medieval eras. Like, what is going on here? Okay. So this dude has apparently been around for a long time. Don't know how, don't know why. But yes, very true to Kawamama's statement of like being kind of like the Wolverine kind of dealio. Yep, a couple years ago. Yeah, just the other day, like when you ask for directions, how do you get there? Oh, it's just up the road a piece, and it's like 2 hours, right? It's the same situation. So we keep going, and then Homeskillet tries to shoot Homeskillet, and he just ducks it. No problem. And then just an elbow to the face and just gets wrecked. I remember the steel swords biting through flesh and breaking bones. Okay, well, that's like old as fuck. And, he just grabs the pistol, lets him shoot it through his hand. No problem. Let me throw this out the window for you. Hold on. You have a perfect memory up to a point. Every day you remember completely. Okay, what's going on about this? So, and he grabs a grenade. All right, here, hold on to this. This is happening. That's what it is. Okay, this is happening. And then he just holds a grenade in front of the dude and they just both explode. So his arms are all hella mangled. And this person is still talking to him inside his head. You got to break through, but you have to trust me. You need to share it. Okay. What? Okay. And then here we go. We're back to SWAT dudes. He's peeking. Roger that. He's on his way to the target. Sniper rifle. Okay, we're just going to watch and see what happens. Keanu Reeves decides he just wants to drive into the jet to make it stop. All right, that's one way. I never have thoughts of suicide. Okay, that's good. And everything explodes. And he gets out. Well, I haven't had for a long time anyway. And this is where we see the damage that's happened from him running the vehicle into the plane, as well as all the other injuries he sustained, and he looks pretty terrible. So he goes over there, and he's just looking gnarly as hell, right? Son, if you can hear me, they're telling me they want him alive, and he does not give a fuck, and he just... More eyeballs. Here we go. More eyeballs. Well, I guess it's dead this time. Okay, so El Presidente is super dead now. Keanu Reeves' created character, is just like, all right, good job well done. All right, I got a heart. And then we see, I guess, El Presidente's son, suspect his son. And then this is causing some type of flashback. Okay, we don't know what's going on. The character sees it. He's doing the flashback thingy. All right, I told you I don't want to die. I just want to be able to die. Apparently, he can't die. We're learning new things about the character, slowly but surely. So they're on their way back to base or whatnot. Time for your new protocol. He's got to take a pill with whatever that stuff is, whatnot. And of course, we're at an undisclosed U.S. government facility outside Tacoma, Washington, which looks hella freaking fancy. Okay. All right. You know, yo, look who showed up. Jason, the Southern Comic Geek. Everybody, make sure you go over to my man Jason, the Southern Comic Geek, because I believe he is like approaching fast the 900 subscriber mark. He only needs 3 subscribers for 900 subs. Okay, make sure you go and give him a sub. All right, Jason, we're almost done with the dealio thingy here. John Wick on steroids. It's like far more than just steroids. It's like crazy, you know. He took the red and blue pill. Is a nod to the Matrix. I don't know. You know, now that you mentioned that, let me scroll back up. It kind of does look red and blue, doesn't it? That's pretty cool if they did that, actually. Like having like little Easter eggs and stuff and everything is always awesome, you know. So undisclosed location. I know you want mortality, and I promise you to go to help you reach that objective. All right, so you know that's what this is all about, and it's still in the head. So like we haven't seen earpieces, we haven't seen anything like that. Apparently they're all telepathic. All right, proud of you. Rest up. He's getting all squared away and fixed up, hopefully. Oh god, when I saw this with the shower head and like spraying down, oh man, that I hope I never ever have to experience what it's like to get like burned, like have severe burns, because when you go to the burn unit, they have to clean you off. They have to scrub you to get all that off and to clean the wounds and stuff like that. God, I hope I never have to do with that. It always reminds me of that one episode of House where the dad and the kid were on an ATV and he let his son drive the ATV, and then some shit went down, and then you're just like, what? And then next thing you know, there's an explosion and kid's on fire, and it's like bad. Yeah. Woof. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did kind of go out of left field there a little bit. The Lena and plugs in the body, it looks like. Yeah, I thought the same thing too with all the plugs going in. Yeah, there's a lot of like stuff going on, you know, a lot of Easter eggs going on like that. So you're helping us apparently. And so they cut off on his super messed up hand a chunk of his finger into a gene clone. Okay, so there's something going on with that. More eyeball stuff. And then as we see here in the overview, we get Department of Biometric Mapping of Cognitive Neuroscience, Department of Organ Regeneration Analysis, Department of Quantum Field Phenomena, Department of Neural Circuits and Networks, and then Stephen Caldwell, Head of Belief Systems and Ancient Technology Migration. Okay, there's a lot of stuff that goes into Home Skillet. A lot of stuff. Hey, Zuni, thanks for helping him out, man. Like he's a bro. He is a bro of the community. So yes, super awesome. All right, so he's on the table. They're working on him, right? And so apparently memory is the key. So then they start putting this like tape or like a suit, like a roll-on suit of some sort or whatever. I don't know. Put him in some type of like healing mechanism thingy, whatever you want to call it. Then we get this chick. We don't know her name. And she's been working with the other no-name dude about memory and stuff like that. And she says, I know you're not a god. I don't believe in gods. I don't worship you. I don't fear you. I don't want anything from you. And then he says, everyone wants something. Make your super army, your super soldiers from me. I don't care. I just want mortality. Gods are immortal. I'm immortal. So he apparently thinks himself as a god, even though she apparently doesn't. Okay. It's not that simple. You're not as simple as that. You're not a god. Something we don't understand yet. And you're right. I do want something. She wants to understand him and how he is. Goes on to talking about tracking his hormone levels in real time. Had spikes in unusual places, which is peculiar to her. Non-blood clotting electrolytes were off the charts. come a long way since I met the United States. This is him talking. You're using whiskey as painkillers and hacksaws to amputate gunshot wounds when the Revolutionary War started. So he was alive during that time, apparently, too. Now you're looking at 3D projections of real-time diagnostics and quantum evaluations of my antigens and serums. Just a lot going on there. And then she goes on to say, you did well out there today, but something was different. I could tell on the monitor something triggered you, something happened. And then we get the shot back when you saw the kid. No witnesses. And then, the super soldier had to do the super soldier thing or whatever. I don't know if he's a super soldier, so let me scratch that. She says, I saw something new. On the monitors, I saw new pathways light up in your brain. Pathways in your brain that you've been blocking for a long time. And then she injects him with some type of dealio. And then he says, today I remembered my father and more. I remember. And then more red, blue pills, I guess. And then we get this picture. All right. There's not really a whole lot to it. Now I'm looking at it. This makes more sense now. Maybe. Takes a pill. Lightning. I remember. And then we get some breastfeeding going on here, which is totally fine. Wasn't expecting the blood, though. I was like, wait, baby's going too hard. I remember being born. What? And the kid's got like hella like radiant blue eyes going on. Mom's like, oh my God, my boob. Why'd you do that, you bastard? Also, who the fuck remembers when they were born? Nobody remembers when they're born, okay? So that's weird. And then we scroll down 80,000 years ago. What? Holy shit. To be continued. Okay? Like, that is super cool. When I saw this last panel, I was like, what? Just like I am now. Because was not expecting that. 80,000 years ago. This dude is like Cro-Magnon, like Neanderthal, like way the hell back then, like super far back then, like during the time of dinosaurs or the end, like the Ice Age. Let's call it the Ice Age, right? 80,000 years, Ice Age. And that's such a great shot. So, like, we don't know who this dude is. Okay, who's this dude now? Because down here you see the main hut or whatever, and it's the parents and the baby. So who's this dude? Why is this dude here? Why is he important? And then this dude. I'm assuming it's a dude. That looks like a dude. That could be a chick. And that's how it ends. Okay? Like, so good. So good. I was super intrigued with the book already. The hype being Keanu Reeves and all that kind of stuff already. But like, I really wanted to see what it was. And then we heard it's called BRZRKR, and it just sounds really cool and super awesome looking. And yes, come on, mama. I'm 100%. I am on board. I'm ready to get these single issues. I'm ready to do it. I'm super excited. So there you go. We just kind of went through, read the whole issue together. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It's just like, I don't know. It's really intriguing to me. Like a whole nother aspect, it's not just like, okay, he's like able to basically not die. He's a mercenary of some sort and he does stuff for the government, Maybe an invading tribe. Yeah, maybe. That would be pretty interesting. Or it could be the tribal chief, coming in. It's like, you made baby. That is not allowed. Baby must be eaten. It's 80,000 years ago. They ate a lot of babies. Okay. I'm assuming they ate a lot of babies. I don't know. I have no idea. So, I didn't, unfortunately, I didn't catch Burke's Live or the Saturday Night Babylon this past Saturday with the boys talking about the issues. So I didn't really get to see what their opinion was, but I knew that I was going to enjoy this book no matter what. And, I feel like I've seen some mixed stuff about it across the board, and stories aren't for everybody. Certain stories aren't for everybody, but it's just how it is. How it hit me, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was just super cool. I really had a good time reading this book. The artwork was insane. I was completely taken aback by the amount of gore and brutality that was going on. I was not expecting that. And it's just like, I just had a really good time reading that. So I just wanted to bring it up to you guys so you could see my enthusiasm for Berserker by Keanu Reeves. So don't remember them eating babies. I would just assume, because if they how the Spartans would toss away discard the not perfect looking 10 fingers 10 toes babies, like I would assume that maybe if they got hungry enough they'd chomp on a baby. But yeah, so there you go. That was Berserker. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I put in the link, one of the links above earlier this evening, link to Read Comics online. You can go check it out there too as well. And any other comics that you want to read online, that's what I use. It's pretty simple. It's free. So you got to do what you do. I already paid for the book. So, you know what I mean? I don't want to open the book up and risk any damage, if I ever want to actually send it in, because it is a Berserker. It's not the 1 in 1,000 variant, which by the way is pretty freaking insane. I think I was looking that up the other day. I think all the sold listings are still it's just crazy. Okay, so people have got pre-sales going on, because it's got to get signed and slabbed at CGC, and you have to pay that price in order to do that. So, there's prices on here for the 1 in 1,000 signature series for $2,500, y'all. $2,500 for a comic book that came out on March the 3rd. New comic book that came out March the 3rd. One time, 1 in 1,000 signature series by Keanu Reeves on Berserker. It's the only one he's doing. There's not any other signature that he's doing except this variant, and it is a 1 in 1,000 variant issue, and it costs you $2,000. Stupid. Okay, stupid. And it just, yeah, I couldn't believe it. I actually asked my local comic book shop, how much is it going to be for the 1 in 1,000? He's like, 2,000, 2,500, because they got to order 1,000 copies in order to be able to even get option to be able to do it. It's just insane. It's just crazy. So yeah, that's it. That's Berserker. So, all right, now the exciting stuff. I mean, this is pretty freaking exciting, but wrestling. Okay. Like, we're talking wrestling here. All right. AEW Revolution was so flipping good. So good. If you guys are wrestling fans, and if you want to enjoy wrestling like how you remembered it back in the day, I suggest you watch AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays on TNT. Okay. 7 p.m. Central Time. If you want to see real wrestling, how it used to be, how it is, and storylines that aren't concocted by one person who says they have a whole team, but it's all controlled under one person. If you don't want to watch that, go watch AEW, All Elite Wrestling, Dynamite, TNT. Go watch it, because, man, Retribution last night was insane. It was so good. I loved it. It was awesome. It did so well, and it was amazing. There wasn't a match that I was just like, wow, this is like, I'm kind of bored. I'm not going to really watch it. Like, I was watching the pay-per-view, and I was also trying to get some Valheim game time in too as well, because it's Valheim, so I got to get game time in for it. But I was watching it, but Valheim's one of those games where I could like be in a spot and just stand there or sit or whatever and wait and rest, and I could just keep watching it. I ended up having to turn the game off because I was too intrigued of what was transpiring before me. Okay. It was so good. You're a wrestling fan, go watch AEW Dynamite. Honestly, like, I have a buddy. His name's Sean. He's a huge wrestling fan. I think he's probably in bed by now tonight. He works pretty early in the morning. But we go through and watch Dynamite on Discord every Wednesday. We don't even like try to watch Raw and SmackDown. Like, it just usually doesn't happen. One, because it's on pretty late, and Friday night is our hangout gaming night. So, but like AEW Dynamite is always awesome. I'm always excited. It really feels like a natural, like what's happening next. That's the biggest issue that WWE has right now, is there's no, there's anticipation, but it's like, okay, well, this is, it's not surprise. It's not natural. It's not like, okay, what's coming next or what's going to happen? It's just like, what? The stories are just like garbage most of the time, to be honest. Like there might be like a couple things that are okay that are going on, but usually it's like, okay, Vince McMahon doesn't like this. We have to do this now. Oh, and also, I don't know if you guys saw this, but and also if you didn't know this, if you're not like big wrestling people. So you know how when you watch a wrestling match, okay, and you see they do a super kick, all right, and you hear that sound, that clap, okay, that's not their foot hitting their chin and making that sound. That's them slapping their thigh to make the sound of the impact going on. They've been doing this for years, like decades, okay? Decades. And now, all of a sudden, and this came out like a few days ago, Vince McMahon banned thigh slapping for kicks because you can hear the sound. What? How does that make any sense? Like, you do that for the emphasis. Like, how is it you're going to be like, no, we can't do that anymore? But like the number one kick that was associated with for so long is Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, with the super kick, the sweet chin music. Like, that dude had that kick perfected, 100% perfected. And he could time like his hand hitting his thigh with the kick and the slap, and it made it sound perfect. And it was like awesome. How is it you just now going to be like, no, you can't do that anymore because we can hear the noise. We can hear the slap. Motherfucker, like, you've been in charge of this whole shindig this entire time, and you just now realize that, and you're like, no, I don't like it anymore. We're just going to take it out. No, it's fucking stupid. Like, what? It's another reason why Vincent Kennedy McMahon needs to like pick up your AARP. Like, go retire and go do something else. Like, let the company run the way it should be, not just because you're like all super high and tidy about people like thigh slapping on a super kick. Like, psh, get the fuck out of here. Like, come on, stop trying to ruin the wrestling. Okay. Like, you continue to ruin the wrestling. The reason why the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era was so great is because there was like really good like stories. There was really good character development. There was really good opportunities for people that were crowd favorites and performed well enough in the ring to get up there and like do some awesome shit. Okay. Like, that's what AEW does, y'all. Okay. And with Retribution last night, we got to see that. It was so awesome. So, give you a recap of how this all went down. Okay. So, pre-show was Riho and Thunder Rosa versus the Doctor, Britt Baker, DMD, and Rebel. That match was pretty good. It was the pre-show match. What's it called? What was it called? I can't remember what they had it. Like, it wasn't called Revolution for the pre-show match. I can't remember what it was called. Somebody's going to say something at some point, but okay. Anyways, it was a pre-show match. That was pretty good. I wasn't catching a whole bunch of that, but I did watch it. It was good. Then the first match that came off to like start off Revolution. Yo, what's up? Thanks for stopping by, man. I just finished going through BRZRKR. I'm talking AEW Retribution from last night because it was amazing. I'm talking about the card. So if you didn't watch it, listen up. And then also, Panda, go get other wrestling dudes in here so we can talk wrestling stuff. Since I'm doing the show. Yes, please. Thank you, sir. Okay. So anyways, the card as follows. Okay. So we did the pre-show. Then the first match was for the tag team titles between the Young Bucks and Chris Jericho and MJF. Okay. That was really good. That tag team match was super awesome. And honestly, like, Chris Jericho is so good. Like, even still, this dude is just rocking it. Like, Chris Jericho, he's probably in better shape than I am, but the dude's got one hell of a dad bod, but he can go out there and he can do shit, okay? Just give him props where props are due. MJF, dude is on fire. I love MJF. He's definitely the best mouthpiece out there. He's the best heel currently in any promotion. MJF is awesome. The Young Bucks are a perfect tag team. They are so in sync and they are awesome. There was so many near falls, like literally like milliseconds on hitting the 3 count and people kicking out. It was awesome. Super good. That was a great match. Okay, so then as soon as that one was over, then they did, I'm trying to make, because they don't have it in order here on the thing I'm looking at. Then they did the AEW Women's Championship between Hikaru Shida and Ryo Mizunami. That was actually a really good match too. But the thing for me is those women are Japanese, and the Japanese wrestling that they do over there in New Japan and whatnot is very different. It's like very stylish, kind of over the top. They really take a lot of time to do their moves, and there's a lot of warm-up involved. You know, it's not like a fluid like motion going back and forth. There's a lot of stop and start. Let me just do some high-five screaming and doing some weird stuff. So it's very different. It's not what like we're normally used to when we watch wrestling matches. However, that match was really good. There was some serious spots that were going on in there, and I was very impressed. And Shida, she did retain the title as well. Young Bucks retained the title in the tag team match before. All right, so then after that, I want to say they did the Casino Tag Team Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble? Royal Rumble. Yo, what is up, Burrito? What is going on? Sorting Comics, but have you in the back. Awesome. I'm going to assume it's Cole. Cole, I'm talking about AEW Retribution right now because, like, last minute I decided, you know what? I'm not just going to do BRZRKR. I'm going to talk about wrestling. And honestly, like, watching AEW and Retribution and all that kind of stuff every week, it's really making me want to do more wrestling, like, stuff. More wrestling live talks and all that kind of stuff. So I'm fired up. All right, so the Casino Tag Team Royal Rumble match for AEW was super cool. Okay, so apparently I was talking to my buddy at work. They've been trying to get WWE to do this shit forever, and WWE just doesn't want to do it because they think it's stupid or some other bullshit. I don't know. I thought it was awesome, and the rules were real simple. Both tag team partners came to the ring after a minute and a half, 2 minutes or whatever it was, and then if one tag team member gets eliminated, it's got to be over the top rope. And the other one is still in there. They're still good. It's whenever both tag partners are out and up over the top rope, then they're done. So that was really cool. So I'm going to read. There was a lot of people that came in here. Okay. So, and also the winners receive the future. They get the opportunity, you know, to be able to do the tag team titles. So it was apparently the debut of Bear Country, Bear Boulder and Bear Bronson. And then you had there was a lot of Dark Order tag teams in there. So you had Alex Reynolds and John Silver. You had Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. Stu Grayson is insane. Evil Uno is awesome. Then you also had the Inner Circle, so Santana and Ortiz, the Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, Top Flight, which is Darius Martin and Dante Martin, Death Triangle, which is Pac and Ray Phoenix. Those guys are amazing. And Varsity Blondes, Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr., and the Seidel brothers, Matt Seidel and Mike Seidel, and also SoCal Uncensored was in there. So SCU was up in there with Frankie Kazarian and Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels is awesome. And then you had the Natural Nightmares, Dusty Rhodes and QT Marshall. I'm not done yet. There's a lot of tag teams in here. And you had Chaos Project, which is Luther and Serpentico. And then you also had the Gun Club, Austin Gunn, Colton Gunn, and then Dark Order, Alan Angels, and Preston Vance. There's a lot of guys. There was a lot of dudes up in that Casino Tag Team Royal Rumble match. It was awesome. All right, let me read the comics here. Okay. Man, I saw the end where Eddie got on Moxley, and that made me, that's the big talk of the take right now. Okay. And even Tony Khan, he basically said, like, whether or not this is true, like, the whole plan was to play it off as Kenny Omega, like, screwed up trying to end Moxley kind of situation. So, yeah, there was a lot of people that were talking shit. Even WWE superstars were tweeting some crap out too. Yeah, it was super ridiculous. All right, so the winners of the Tag Team Royal Rumble were Pac and Ray Phoenix. I don't see where. Apparently, they didn't have it on here, or unless I missed it. But Jurassic Express was in there too as well. So Luchasaur and Jungle Boy were out there. And interesting enough, because it's Royal Rumble, there could be interference and it wouldn't count against the tag team. So like the third member, I can't ever remember his name, of Jurassic Express, got involved in the match and stuff like that. And he got thrown out, but he wasn't part of the tag team that was scheduled to do it, so it didn't count against him, kind of thing. So the way it came down to it was at the end, the four guys that remained was Stu Grayson and Jungle Boy, Ray Phoenix, and Pac. And then Stu Grayson got eliminated, and then Jungle Boy eliminated Pac, which was big deal because Pac is like insanely good. He's super good. And then it was Jungle Boy and Ray Phoenix, and they were just going toe to toe, and that was awesome. And then Ray Phoenix ended up getting Jungle Boy eliminated. So Ray Phoenix and Pac, the Death Triangle, they get a shot at the titles, I think on Wednesday. I think this Wednesday. I think there's going to be a tag team title match going on. So that was really good. All right, so continuing on. All right, so I think the next one after that, now I could get these two mixed up here. I think the next thing was Miro and Kip Sapien with Penelope Ford versus versus Best Friends, Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. So if you guys didn't know, a couple weeks ago, Kip Sapien and Penelope Ford, they got married with Miro, the Best Man, which, by the way, okay, Rusev leaving WWE and going to AEW and creating the character Miro is awesome. Dude, he is so good. He is so good. I love the character. He's just like super over the top. I'm like amazing. I'm the best man. I am the best man. You know, it's like super cool, super awesome. So if you liked Rusev, but after he put shoes on, and with his wife and that whole thing going on, not like his wife and Bobby Lashley. No. Like after he puts his shoes on and before Lana and Bobby Lashley start doing that stupid fucking WWE, we're going to have like an intermarital conflict and Rusev is going to watch Bobby Lashley making out with Lana on TV. And it's like, no, fuck that shit. No, it was the good part where Rusev was trying to like get some really good shit going on. Think that, except like dial it up to 11 on AEW with him and his new characters, Miro, the best man. Super awesome. So before that match started, Miro ended up getting the drop on Cassidy, Orange Cassidy, and Chuck Taylor. He threw Chuck Taylor's face through a window, and he already got some color going on. And then, like, that was literally right before they were walking out. And so he looks at the camera and just like, play my music. And so his music starts playing. He comes out throwing Chuck Taylor down the ramp, and Penelope Ford and Kip Sapien start walking out. The match starts going yada, yada, yada. And everybody's like, oh my God, where's Orange Cassidy? And he finally makes his way out there because he got all fucked up too, right? And so Orange Cassidy starts doing all this freshly squeezed awesomeness and, you know, orange punch and all that kind of shit. Bottom line is Orange Cassidy ends up getting out of the ring. And then I think it was it Orange Cassidy pushed, no, was it Miro pushed Orange Cassidy or Chuck Taylor into Penelope Ford when she was on the apron and knocked her off. So that might be the start where Kip Sapien and Miro start to kind of like have some inner turmoil going on, because like Miro did push like on purpose and then she went flying, blah, blah, blah. But anyways, Miro gets him in this camel clutch submission, which I don't know what it's called now, but he gets him in the submission. He wins the match for him and Kip Sapien. That was pretty good. All right, so the next match that comes up, I believe I want to say is the big money match. I think the next match after that was the big money match, which is between Adam, the Hangman Adam Page versus Big Money Matt Hardy. And the winner of that match gets 100% of the loser's first quarter earnings. So Matt Hardy is like a big money Matt. That's his, like one of his other personas where he's like basically trying to like, what's the, who is that? It kind of reminds me of the coach. I think this is right, but the coach of like, Mike Tyson and stuff, like a lot of apparently like back in the day, the boxing coaches, promoters or whatever, they like took a huge chunk of money from the boxers and stuff like that. Think of it like Matt Hardy as that. Like he's trying to be a promoter or a coach or whatever you want to call it, but he like makes the wrestlers sign contracts and he gets like 30% of their earnings kind of situation. So bottom line is Matt Hardy tried to do that to Hangman Adam Page, and Hangman Adam Page ended up like double crossing him and making him sign a contract saying it's actually Hangman Adam Page versus Matt Hardy at Retribution, and whoever loses gets 100% of their quarterly first quarter earnings. That match was actually pretty good. When I was talking to my buddy at work, he said that was the only one where he kind of was just like, it was moving a bit slowish, kind of, sort of. He lost a little bit of interest, but there were some pretty awesome spots in there. Hangman tried to do his buckshot lariat, which is where he's on the outside of the apron, and then he like does a front flip over it, and then he does it into a clothesline, which is super sick. I love that move. It's so good. He went to do that the first time, and I thought Matt Hardy got him, like he went to do it, and he countered with the twist of fate, which was sick. But my buddy at work is like, no, he did the side effect. It makes more sense. It's like, yeah, maybe, but I think it was a twist of fate. But either way, that spot was sick. It was super cool. So yeah, that happened. Bottom line is the private party tag team comes out to try to like screw up with Hangman Adam Page because they work for Matt Hardy because like he's their boss kind of situation, whatever, promoter. That kind of like goes downhill real quick because the entire Dark Order comes out to help Hangman Adam Page. Hangman ends up winning with the pin, 1, 2, 3 off the buckshot lariat. And then next thing I know, the next morning I was looking at tweets And Matt Hardy was tweeting. He's like, sorry, honey, we might need to pause the construction of blah, 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 mini golf course for the kids in the backyard. And it was just hilarious. It was just funny. So that was a pretty good match. Then the next match that comes up is the Face of the Revolution ladder match. The winner receives a future TNT championship match. And the people that are involved in this ladder match are Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Penta El Zero Miedo, okay? And he's the other member of the Death Triangle tag team between Pac and El Phoenix. And you got Lance Archer with Jake the Snake Roberts, versus Max Caster. And then they had a surprise 6 entrant for the ladder match. And I cannot remember what his name is. Cage. His last name is Cage. I know that, but I cannot remember. He literally just showed up last night. He came from Impact Wrestling. It's not. I always want to say TNA, but it's not TNA anymore. It's Impact Wrestling. I'm trying to scroll through, see if they have him on the roster already off the thing. But he was the surprise. He was the surprise entrance, which is like a big deal. It's a pretty big deal. Getting this guy on there apparently. So I'm scrolling to see if I can find him. Where are you? Nope. Oh my goodness. Where is you? I guess they don't have him on there yet. Damn it. I wish I knew what his name was. His last name is Cage. I know that's what it is. But anyways, so the ladder match, okay? So the only way to win the ladder match is they had a brass ring floating above the ring. Okay, a brass ring. They couldn't do a briefcase, obviously, because Money in the Bank, briefcase, championship, blah, 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 copyright infringement, suck our dicks. Like, get out of here, WWE. Stop being little bitches. So, I got a brass ring, and when I was watching Sign from Walk Culture, and he was doing his ups and downs, he's like, that reminded me of Sonic the Hedgehog with the gold rings hanging above the ring. It's just really funny how he talks. It's awesome. That match was awesome. There were some seriously good spots in there. Honestly, if Scorpio Sky didn't win, he was my pick and he won, I would have loved to see Lance Archer Murder Hawk win, because Lance Archer is so good. That dude is awesome. He's got hella power. He's super strong. He looks real strong. They're making him real strong. It was super awesome. Pencil Jr., he did a sunset flip spot on the apron onto a ladder with Cody Rhodes. Like, they did the full whoop, just flipped right over, and the ladder did not break, did not give. And then Cody fell on the ground, and then he started playing off his whole shoulder injury kind of thing. And so he was like screaming and stuff like that. And then Arn Anderson was there. Medic came over and they started walking him up the ramp and trying to go to the tunnel. And he ended up standing in the tunnel for like God knows how long. And I was talking to my buddy at work, and he said they did that to make him look strong, but not weak, because him just like, he's like definitely one of the big names and big favorites to, for AEW. But obviously he can't be the only one that's constantly getting opportunities. So they just made him hurt, but not weak kind of thing. So bottom line is Scorpio Sky ends up winning the ladder match, which is awesome. And then a huge name drop that was coming around about a new member of AEW Wrestling. And then we finally see who comes out, and it's Christian Cage. Christian finally is out of the WWE. He showed up for the Rumble as a surprise entrance. That was awesome. Super awesome to see him back in the wrestling ring. Him and Edge had a whole bromance going on in the ring at the Royal Rumble. It was awesome. And then we come to find out he wasn't actually signed. He was independent, and he signed with Tony Khan at AEW. And he showed up last night, signed his contract in the ring, left it in there. And I cannot wait to see what happens on Wednesday with Christian Cage for All Elite Wrestling. It is going to be awesome. Next. So there's only 2 matches left. And the first one is the tag team street fight between Team Taz and Darby Allin and Sting. So Team Taz was going to be Brian Cage and Ricky Starks versus Sting and Darby Allin. This was a cinematic match. So if you guys don't know what this is, the first time I remember seeing this was for the last WrestleMania that happened for The Undertaker and AJ Styles in the Boneyard match, which was really good. It looked really good. It was an awesome send-off for the dead man. Not how we all wanted, but unfortunately, if you watch the WWE Last Ride docu-series about the dead man, the dude just... he wants to be able to perform how he used to, and he just physically can't. So they did the cinematic match for the Dead Man and AJ Styles, and it was really good. It was a great good match. Last match for the Taker, and it was good. So this one was kind of similar, except it was like there was some brutal spots. I would say there were some pretty brutal spots. So Darby Allin and Sting, they show up. Brian Cage, Ricky Starks are already there. And it's just like, oh God, not this again. Last Monday, I don't know what happened to me, but I just couldn't stop yawning. So hopefully that goes away. So Darby Allin starts fighting with Cage, and they kind of like go away. And then Sting and Ricky Starks, they're doing it, getting their fight on. Next thing you know, the rest of Team Taz kind of starts showing up, and they start ganging up on Darby Allin. And then once they kind of like, they threw him through like some glass, like a glass door plate, not plate, but like a glass door, and the door shatters, and then it slides down and it like smacks Darby Allin on top of his head. I was like, what the hell? That was kind of, that looked a little sus. You know what I'm saying? So Darby Allin was incapacitated at that point. Then all of a sudden they start taking like a snow shovel, start smacking Sting on the back. Now, Stinger is 61 years old, okay? This dude is no spring chicken, if you know what I mean. But dude was taking some hella swings from that goddamn snow shovel. And then all of a sudden, like on the second, third-ish floor, Darby Allin standing up there, and he's got the baseball bat for Sting, and he throws it down to him, and he catches it. And then he just starts going to town. And then he ends up breaking the baseball bat over the back of Brian Cage. And that was insane. Another super awesome spot was Brian Cage had Darby Allin in a suplex, a vertical suplex, and he walked up an entire flight of stairs, okay? Yeah, Darby Allin maybe weighs 140 pounds. Maybe. Still, you're holding the dude up vertically like this, and you just walked up a flight of stairs. Brian Cage is a huge human being, but it was still pretty cool. So Sting's going to town. He throws Ricky Starks in the ring. They start doing that. Next thing you know, like right before that, Sting smacked Brian Cage, and he fell across the top of the little platform thingy. Darby Allin standing up there like 2 stories above, and he does a coffin drop. Like they go flying through, like down to the bottom. It was insane. It was awesome. See a Stinger splash. See a Scorpion death drop. Boom. Stinger gets the cover for the 1, 2, 3. It was awesome. It was so good. It was a really well done cinematic. Like it looked really good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. The very last match, of course, has to be for the AEW World Championship between Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. And guys, I have never seen anything like it. It definitely was toned down from other exploding barbed wire death matches. Definitely toned down from what I've seen, especially in the little clips that they had that they were allowed to show, and talking with some of my other buddies. is no joke. And it's also not as extreme as it was back then, but it's still nothing to play around with. You know, you got barbed wire out there. You know, you can kind of like do what you can to make it a little bit safer, but it's still barbed wire. You know what I mean? It's still metal on skin, spiky metal on skin. It's not good. So basically, exploding barbed wire death match is a match where 3 sides of the ring are barbed wire and not rope. And then there's also hanging explosives, which are like souped up like firecracker or like firework kind of dealios. That's what I assume that they were. And then on the outside, they had like platforms with barbed wire, you know, like barbed wire tables, dealios, and that also had explosives underneath it too as well. Guys, there were some seriously fucked up spots in that. And honestly, like the 2 biggest ones is when it first gets set off, that was insane. So Kenny Omega shoved Moxley into the barbed wire on that set off. That was kind of freaky. And then the next one is whenever Kenny Omega stopped Moxley from running into him, and then he pushed them both into the barbed wire. But Kenny's head went in first, and Moxley was able to like, put his hands up a little bit or whatever. And then all of a sudden, you see just Omega just rolling around on the ground. He's like screaming to the ref, "Water, water!" That was kind of scary at first. Also, both guys came out in shirts and jeans, kind of thing, which is testament to as well. Then Moxley had Omega on the apron, and he did a paradigm shift, which is like a super like vertical DDT, double underhanded DDT. Did a paradigm shift off the apron on top of the barbed wire table situation. Explosions, barbed wire, ouch, and it looked like Kenny Omega like head first kind of situation. That was kind of scary. Yeah. And then Moxley was just bloodied up across the face. He got cut real early off a trash can. And then the baseball bats, barbed wire, the table or the chairs was wrapped in barbed wire. Then the Good Brothers, they came out and they decided they wanted to, start screwing around with shit. And just like coming out like to help out Kenny Omega, which, they don't really need, or he didn't really need, but they still obviously is part of the story. So they come out and they give Kenny Omega a baseball bat and wrapped in barbed wire. And when he smacked Jon Moxley with it, exploded, which was kind of crazy. So that all happened, and they ended up handcuffing Moxley. So he had his hands behind his back, handcuffed. And then at certain points, there was like this ominous countdown music that was going on, because apparently they set the match up to where after the 30-minute mark, like all the explosives were going to set off in this massive fireball situation or whatever. Well, guess what? That didn't happen. So Moxley's friend Eddie came out to kind of help him, and he wasn't trying to get him out of the ring. So he ended up sacrificing himself, and he like covered Moxley with his own body. And all these explosions started going off, and honestly, they were shit. And I was just like, wait, what? What's going on here? Even the commentators were kind of like, WTF, mate. And yeah, and that's kind of like how AEW kind of ended. Funny thing is, after that, off the air, Moxley got a microphone, and he was like, well, Kenny Omega is one tough son of a bitch, basically, but he builds a shit exploding barbed wire death match. So that was pretty funny, and that's where you're going to see a whole bunch of the other tweets and stuff going around. It's going to be explosive on WWE NXT, and it's like, okay, all right, yeah. But apparently Tony Khan and everybody in company said that this is going to be playing off for some more stuff. So we'll see. There you go, folks. That is the rundown from AEW Retribution. Hopefully you enjoyed my color commentary. Let me know if you guys would be interested. Let me know if you guys would be interested to see more specific wrestling lives. I think it'd be really fun to get some more bros in the comic book community, shake it up a bit, talk some wrestling stuff. I think it'd be really fun, kind of venture into that style of podcast, live stream, whatever you want to call it. I really enjoy it. I'm really hyped about it because I'm really big into wrestling right now. I'm really enjoying All Elite Wrestling, and I cannot wait to buy me a t-shirt because there's some t-shirts I want to get. So yeah, that was AEW, and also my BRZRKR review and commentary and rundown and play-by-play. So there you go. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed this. Thanks everybody for stopping by and hanging out and watching and commenting. I appreciate everybody that showed up. Thank you very much. My voice is crackly and itchy, so this is the moment. This is the goodbye. So make sure you guys tune in for Thursday. The new Comic Book Thursday video will be dropping. Super excited to show what I picked up. Hopefully you guys will like it. There are some spec books coming in for a future Netflix series. So yeah, I hope one of the other books will get here before Thursday, but if not, I'll just have one, and it's pretty sweet. So guys, make sure you stay tuned, like, subscribe, and I'm going to catch you guys next time. Y'all have a great night, all right?